Howdy, everybody. I really appreciate the response on the last video. Quite honestly, I didn't think it was that good of a video. It shows you what I really know. But actually, I wasn't even thinking. I was thinking about not even posting it up, but or uploading it. But I'm glad I did. It spurred up a lot of conversation and some feelings and eye-opening stuff and blah 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 and it was just ended up being a good video. So before I get started, my son has a channel. I like to mention my son's channel. um, it's CNT Outdoors. I'll put a link in the description. He's 400, a little over 400, I guess, subscribers right now, and he's really wanting to get to 500. So if you're watching this, could you go over there and hit a like and a subscribe to his channel? I know he would really appreciate it. He's just getting going with his YouTube, but anyways, I'm only going to do a few more videos here coming up, and then I got to take a break from YouTube and go work my regular job. And some of you all know what my regular job is, but so it's going to be a fun week. I really love my job. Went out in the trap line today. I had I don't think the coyotes are paired up yet. We still have a little bit of snow and in some spots, and I'm seeing I seen a group of 4 coyotes that were running together, and usually it's just 2, if they're paired up. I had a coyote come into my bait station, but I was used to them coming around the back door, and I had snares in the back door, and I kind of left the front door open. And so anyways, I had one coyote come in and investigate the bait station from the front side, and so I'm gonna go ahead and put a snare there in that spot. But I'm still going to do a video on my snare supports and how I make my snare supports. All right, so let's get to this video. A lot of great comments on it, and there was one comment in particular that really kind of inspired me to do a video on this for like maybe a part 2 or something. But it was, the feller's name is Quentin Bullard, 2921 on YouTube. And his question is wolf gland and piss lure from multiple wolves? And and most of the time, yes. In fact, I think I did a video on this back, oh gosh, I think it was the beginning of like September-ish or something like that. I can't remember. It might have been last summer. But when lure makers make gland lure, they just don't take lure, let's say, from one coyote or one wolf. They mix it up. And Quentin, yes, you're onto something there. I think when wolf gland lure is made, and they put, let's say 10 wolves, into one gland lure, into one lure or whatever, that wolf that comes by is smelling 10 different wolves. And so anyways, that might be what's confusing the wolf and gets them to shy. So I see what you're saying. And the wolf here, and because animals, or wolves, they can separate smells, just like let's say a drug sniffing dog. So someone else made a comment also about the bed bugs, where and I've seen this back in Tennessee when I had my wildlife control business, because I did a lot of bat work, and they'd bring in these bed bug sniffing dogs to find the bat bugs. So he was saying in his comment that the beagle that they're bringing in, or whatever, the bed bug sniffing dog can separate a dead bed bug from a live bed bug. That's just how strong their noses are. That's an absolute fact. And so, I mean, even let's think about a drug sniffing dog, at the airport. Somebody's bringing over some Colombian coffee, and they got their drug stashed in the middle of it, and that dog can smell through that coffee and smell those drugs, and of course, then the person goes to jail or prison or whatever. And that just shows you how amazing their noses are. Leanne Kennedy, she said maybe the animal smells the steel or the wax. neither are natural scents in the wild. Something on your gloves where you store your steel, I'm thinking it has to be something related to scent. But anyways, yeah, I believe it's that. I believe when the wolf is coming in, and he's already smelling. Somebody mentioned snowmobile fumes and all of that. I think it's all of the above. Everything that everybody is mentioning here, I said I don't think it's one thing or another. I think it's everything and above that raises the red flag for the wolf to go ahead and put the brakes on, and not investigate the sets. Well, here's another thing too that I've been dealing with and thinking about also, and I think I mentioned it on previous videos, is and I talked about it when I was talking about the marking tree, or the shit tree is what we call it. When my dogs come up and mark on a spot where the wolves are marking, my dogs are smelling each individual track of the wolf or the coyote, and then they smell around, and then they decide to go and mark. They don't just run up and mark it. They're smelling the tracks. So that raised some concern with me last winter and got me to thinking that, well, maybe the wolves are coming in. They're not seeing any tracks or smelling any tracks, or any canine. And it goes from no smell at all, no canine smell, to piss. Okay, then all they're really smelling is me. All right, my snowmobile, whatever smell is falling off me, I burn with wood. There's smell coming off of me all the time. And so maybe they're smelling me, then they see the urine, and then they're smelling me or the snow machine and all that, and then they're seeing the urine, and that's why they're avoiding the urine, and they're not smelling a dog. So I think that raises some confusion too. Mr. Zastro, which has been following me for a long time, he says don't be given the wolves supernatural powers and all that. I'm really not, and I'm really trying to stay away from that. But they're showing yourself as being really highly intelligent, and way smarter than I am. So I'm not giving them supernatural powers. I wouldn't do that. But they are showing signs of intelligence that you just can't kind of figure out. And I think what happens between the nose and the brain, there's so much going on between that nose and the brain that it's hard for us to understand. So there's another one here that I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, nope. Here we are. Michael Farnsworth 7724 says, here in northern Wisconsin, I find the coyotes are smarter than wolves. However, we can't trap wolves, so maybe I haven't been humbled by them enough. And so yeah, I'm hearing that a lot from coyote trappers, like up in Wisconsin, that they're just catching wolves after catching wolves. They're having to release wolves and have to release wolves. I think when you target wolves, it's different, and the wolves start seeing. I think what happens. Okay, so when you catch a wolf in a coyote trap, and let's say Wisconsin, you set it free, then that coyote eventually catches up with the pack, and then they move on. Okay, so there's a learn thing right there where I got to be handled by a human, but I'm always also going back to the pack or whatever. Now don't think that I'm humanizing them or not, but they do learn by patterns and such. So, but when you go ahead and start, I believe now, so when you go ahead and start trapping these wolves and catching these wolves on purpose, and that wolf, let's say, is in the trap, and the pack comes back, you dispatch that wolf, and now you got blood there, and the wolf is gone, like an alien lifted it up, or whatever, and it's gone. Then the pack is like, whoa, what's going on here? We just lost a pack member. I don't know if I'm thinking too much into it, but when you get to this point as a wolf trapper where it's hard to even put two and two together and all of that, you got to start thinking way outside the box on things. So I don't know if that makes sense, you know. So if you start targeting wolves, is what I'm trying to say. I think over time, give it 3 years, 2-3 years, your wolves are going to start becoming a lot smarter. And because of the patterns they're going to learn, and they're going to start avoiding more things, you know. Go after them with some big traps and go after them on purpose, and I think things will change. But I agree. I think if they opened up a wolf trapping season right now in Wisconsin, I believe it would be pretty devastating for the wolves if it was a full-blown trapping season. Your wolves are on a smaller pattern, which is, I think, 40 to 60 miles compared to our 250 square miles. And two, you guys can get on the snowmobile trails, and I'm sure those wolves are running those snowmobile trails. And you know, well, hell, you guys didn't have snow this year either did we, really, but they're getting on those. It's more like a grid. I used to trap northern Wisconsin. It's more like a grid, and you guys can also trap the roads, which is right on the right of way, which makes it completely different. So I believe if you guys had a season, the first, and it was multiple seasons, I believe the first 2 or 3 seasons, it's going to be easy. You know, maybe the third or fourth or whatever, you guys are going to start seeing a change on how hard it is and how the wolves have adapted and changed. Just my opinion. Whether it's right or not, I don't know. Let me think. What else? What I noticed too, GK Hunter. If you guys aren't following GK Hunter from Canada, it's GK Hunter. GK Hunter Trapper 2738. He is a snare man, and he's only been snaring, I think, for, I don't know, 5 years or something like that, 4 or 5 years, and he flat kills them. He does a great job, and he's really getting it, man. He's getting it, and he's just seeing how smart these things are too. So go ahead and follow them or follow him. Great guy. I talked to him on the phone quite a bit. You know, my Canadian buddy up there. And then interested in channels that are talking about wolves that they have a lot of knowledge is the guys on Patterning Nature. It's at Patterning Nature. Like his comment here, he says, wolves and their sixth sense. It takes time to hunt and learn any pack in any area. I could smack wolves up here in Ontario one way, yet down by you, it's different, totally different terrain, language of the pack, you're hunting, the list goes on and on. As you know, it's never easy, but man, it's a fun journey. And when you get one, it's like Christmas morning. Absolutely. But if you want, you guys should hop over and follow those guys. They have really great content on wolves. So it's called Patterning Nature, Patterning Nature. Great guys, and they're fun to watch. But anyways, I've loved going through these comments on this post. A lot of times I don't have a lot of time. I usually post a video and then I'm off doing some stuff and, you know, or whatever. And then I catch up later and whatnot. I try to get to the comments before I post another video. But what I really enjoyed in some of these comments, you could tell the older trappers, the guys that have been there, the guys that have taken wolves, and the guys that have been chasing wolves, they get it. They understand. There's a change in a trapper when he hits that point, and I felt that change, and it just happened the past couple of years. So, and I'm absolutely grateful for it. But anyways, hope you guys appreciate this video. A little bit more talk. There was so much. I could probably do another 3 or 4, at least a third, or I'm sorry, I could do another third or fourth on this. But anyways, yeah, I truly appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.